It's an LMV thing.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the first Jazz Rendezvous podcast. My name is Rick Allen. It is now 10 a.m., maybe a couple minutes after 10 a.m., but I'm telling you, I'm so excited to be here tonight. And this morning. But before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce my guest for today, Mr. Marcus Adams.
Thank you for having me, Rick. Thank you guys for being here with me.
Thank you so much for coming. You know how long we've been trying to get you down there?
It's been a while.
I know. Since the last time we met.
Yeah. Since it's Myrtle Beach.
Exactly. The Myrtle Beach Festival. Let me tell you something. When I saw him at Myrtle Beach Festival, man, I had to have him come down here. I said, I got to do this because this would be a special event for Jacksonville. I know that we have been bringing a lot of jazz down here for a long time. And I'm telling you, each time we do it, we try to make sure that we bring the best that we can possibly do. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful show that we got coming on tonight. And I just want to thank all of y'all for tuning in right now to my first podcast. It's very, very, very exciting for me, number one. And thank you out there in the studio audience as well. First of all, man, I tell you, before I get started, I got to do my shout-outs. My shout-outs to my partners, Gilliam Dentistry, of course. I want to do a shout-out to the Ocean City Jazz Festival, Myrtle Beach Jazz Festival. Here's your man right here. I told you I was bringing him down. Just want y'all to know that he's here right now. Of course, thank you very much, Connie Williams, for being an assistant to me and getting things done. Without the teamwork, none of this would be possible.
Right.
But as we get started, I just want to let you know that we're going to have a brief conversation with this artist here. We call him the soul, what I call
Soul Jazz.
Soul Jazz. That's it. I'm telling you, I haven't heard that in a long time. First time I've heard that was through Althea Renee and Jeanette Harris.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saying that, yeah.
They coined that phrase. I don't know if they created it, but I know that phrase has caught on fire.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're an epitome for that. You know, I love your style. I love what you do. I've been watching you for a while. I just want to talk a little bit about you and your childhood, if that's okay with you.
Sounds good.
So tell me, Marcus, where you from, man?
Well, originally, I am from Greenwood, Mississippi.
Oh.
Born and raised a Southern guy there.
Oh, so you got a little country in you.
I got a lot of country. I'm proud of.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I was born in Greenwood, Mississippi. I was there for the first 14 years of my life. Love everything about the South. Every time I come to this area of the country, you know, it's reminiscent of how I was raised, my values, you know, everything like that. So I love coming here, you know, to the South, Southeast, Southwest, whatever, just South. You know, I just love it. Yeah.
So you're at home, basically.
I am.
You're at home. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So that's where your roots are.
Yes.
So where are you living at now?
I reside now in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
You know, that's a far cry from where I was raised, but you know, Milwaukee is home, and you know, home for now.
Right.
Let's just say that. You know,
that's good.
But I love Milwaukee. I'm a skip and a hop from Chicago, and I'm in Chicago a lot working, and you know, there's some great things happening in Milwaukee, and I'm excited to be a part of the growing jazz scene there.
So what brought you to Milwaukee?
Well, when I was 14, my father, He decided that he wanted to do some things differently and wanted a different life for his family. So he packed us all up and moved us to Milwaukee. And true story. You know how when you're young, you read about all of the jazz greats.
Mm-hmm.
And they started, most of us, looking at our history, we know that a lot of our ancestors started in the South and then migrated north.
Right.
So a lot of the jazz musicians is the same thing. So start in the South and move up north. So my father came, I started playing sax in 3rd grade.
Wow.
My father came to me one day and said, "Hey man, we're moving up north." In my mind, the first thing was, I knew I was going to be famous. We're moving up north now. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, it's just a true story, man. One of many in my very, very colorful childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the deciding moment for you when you became a saxophonist? What was that one thing that just grabbed you by your shirt and just told you, I'm going to be a jazz artist?
When I first heard David Sanborn, Chicago song,
wow,
I was like, being from the South, my musical history, it wasn't jazz. It wasn't contemporary jazz. It wasn't any of that. I was more into soul, Al Green, Bobby Blue Bland, Marvin Gaye.
Right.
And those are great artists, but it wasn't jazz. But when I first heard David Sanborn, Chicago song, I couldn't even understand really what was going on.
Right.
The way his sax sang and the way he enunciated and punctuated and had energy, I was caught.
Wow.
I was caught immediately, and it's been that way ever since.
Wow. Yeah. So now that you're in the jazz genre, how do you feel about where you are possibly going to be going in the future? I'm optimistic. I am always a glass half full type of guy. It's just how I am. Okay.
And so when I look at the genre today, I'm optimistic. I feel as if we were on a great path. Smooth jazz, contemporary jazz, we should do arenas.
Right.
Grover was doing arenas, man.
That's
we weren't doing jazz clubs, just jazz club. We were doing arenas. You know what I mean? George Howard, Grover, people like that, David Sanborn. And, some things happened, and I think the music kind of lost its substance, for lack of words, and it became elevator music.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that's something to me that I believe was never meant to be, and so I think now the music is reclaiming itself.
Right.
Artists like myself, I love smooth jazz, but I will never classify myself as a smooth jazz artist because the music that I make, it doesn't come from it's not made from those ingredients. It's not. The music I make comes from real life experiences.
Right.
The music that I make comes from hurt and pain. The music that I make comes from joys and all of that stuff. So I create soul jazz. And so I believe that because of that, like I said, myself and other artists similar to myself, I believe the music is making a comeback.
I love that because you got to be careful, bro, because pretty soon the Academy Awards are going to have to create a whole new category for soul jazz.
That's what we want to do.
You're going to have to create a new category. Yeah. Academy Awards, did you hear that? You're going to have to create a new category.
Yeah.
Definitely. So speaking of arenas that you said earlier, tell me some of the places that you played at.
I've been fortunate, I started playing, I came out with my first CD in 2011 with, one of my best friends is DeMonte Posey, and he is the longtime producer for Eric Benet. And so, we all know who Eric Benet is, but DeMonte did my first CD in 2011. It was an EP called Suddenly. And I did that and I took a hiatus. And the reason why I took a hiatus was because, as a musician, you know, and all musicians understand this, the lifestyle of a musician. There's so many ups and downs and so many inconsistencies that I felt that I needed some consistency in life. So I went back to school, got some more education, got a master's degree and other things like that, and created some stability in my life. And then I came back out 2011 to 2019. I took an absence. And I came back out in 2019. So we're talking, and then in 20, COVID hit. So we're talking 2019 to 20, 2021 to now. So we're really talking like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
That I've really, really been doing this thing. And in 4 years,
right,
I played festivals from Vanguard to doing Catalina in a month. I played with everybody from Peter White, Rick Braun, Brian Simpson, May Roundtree, Julian Vaughn, just opened up for Kirk Whalum, was on the stage with Boney James, from Peter White, Rick Braun, Brian Simpson, May Roundtree, Julian Vaughn, just opened up for Kirk Whalum, was on the stage with Boney James, Nathan Mitchell. I mean, it's just a who's who.
Right. So you kept a lot of good company and doing what you're doing.
Fortunately.
And out of all of those artists that you've had the privilege and opportunity to play with, out of all of them, which ones were impactful the most to you in your life?
I gotta say this, and I believe in giving honor to where honor is due, because one thing about me is my upbringing is authenticity and loyalty. Julian Vaughn probably has been most instrumental in my last 2-3 years.
Oh wow!
Julian Vaughn took me on the road with him for about a good 2 years.
Okay.
So I was with him everywhere he went, and the reason why I would say him is because there are things that you don't know.
Right.
That you can only learn through experience.
That's right.
On the stage. Yeah, you can see people doing it, but you and I were talking last night. If you never get in there and get your hands and feet in that thing, you don't really know what it is.
That's right.
Until you get in there. Julian allowed me to get on the stage, make mistakes. He allowed me to get on the stage and find my comfort, find my identity. All while me transforming and becoming the artist that I am, and I think that I wouldn't have grown as fast as I have had I not had that experience. And as I look back, God's hand was all in it.
Right.
So I would say Julian Vaughn has probably been the most instrumental in my development as a solo artist.
So with the development of your basic foundation, dealing with these artists that you have mentioned and everything, and from me seeing you at the Myrtle Beach Festival and watching you, do you feel like you've come to a point in your musical experience where you're beginning to define and find out who you are?
Definitely. I believe the musical journey is always an evolution, but I think what's starting to happen for me is my identity is starting to come to the forefront. When you come to see Marcus Adams, what are you expecting?
Right.
What will you see? There's a saxophone there. So is that what you're going to get? Just another saxophonist playing on the stage? Or what all are you going to see? And I think that is starting to be established. When people see my videos and when people hear my music, they're starting to say, oh no, he's not just a saxophonist. He sings too. Oh, he's not just a singer. He's a great entertainer. You know what I mean? So my identity, the soul jazz experience.
Well, let's take that a little further.
Yeah.
You're not just a crooner.
Oh, man.
You're not just a crooner, but you're a true musician.
Yeah.
Because you play other instruments from what I understand.
I do. I play 5 different instruments.
Wow.
So that probably tells you a lot about my childhood. I stayed home a lot.
I know.
In the streets, I was in the house. Practicing.
Dad put it on you, huh?
Man, mama wasn't playing.
Oh, mama.
I'm from down south, man.
Okay, well, mamas take control down south.
Before that light come on, you be on this porch.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Man, great story, man. Great story. So tell me, what's going on now that you're, now that you're beginning to create the originality that you're looking at and that you've developed over the years? What do you have coming up now? I mean, is there anything coming up, as far as, your creativity?
So one of the challenges that I've always had is I've always wanted to produce the music that was the best reflection of who I am.
Okay.
And so and a lot of the material that you hear now has been myself. A lot of the music that I'm doing, I play all of the instruments. 90% of the instruments on my CDs, that's me playing. The programming, the producing, the writing, that's me. But as I mature more, and a part of maturity is, I believe, is understanding the power in delegation.
Right.
You got to know that you can go fast by yourself, but you're not going to go far. But when you get a team around you, you can go far and fast.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm starting to understand that even as an artist, that there's a reason why people are engineers. There's a reason why people are producers. There's a reason why people are this, and I'm an artist. So I'm starting to understand that my true focus should be artistry, and let the producers and engineers do their job around
what they do best. That's right.
So I'm working on some new music, and I'm allowing other people to look at me and say, "Hey, this is how I think you would sound best." Now I had to grow to that point because you don't trust people with your baby.
That's right.
You just don't trust people. But I had to grow to that point. And so now I would say in the future, you're going to hear some music from me that's being produced by different artists. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be something that is going to be interesting. And I think it's going to reveal a whole different side of who I am as an artist.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So now that you're in this mode.
Right.
You're in this mode. I'm thinking that, tonight is going to be pretty interesting.
It is. It's going to be great, though.
It's going to be interesting because you're in more of a intimate setting.
Yes, sir.
And your connection with the people is definitely going to be there.
And that's where I thrive.
Yes.
I thrive in connections. I believe that is part of the gift that God has given me. I have, just an innate ability to connect with people.
That's good. And something else that you guys don't know about this artist right here, Marcus Adams, is that not only is he a musician, but he's also a teacher.
I am an educator. Yeah.
This man is an educator.
High school advanced math teacher.
A mathematician.
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty deep stuff, man.
It's an absolute opposite spectrum. Yeah, you'll see me tonight doing my thing on the stage. But if you came and hung out with me on Tuesday morning,
right,
you see Mr. Adams in the classroom teaching trigonometry. And so it's rewarding though,
right?
Because I'm living my best life,
right?
I'm living the dream. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm giving of myself in this way. And then I come here and I give of myself this way. I mean, I wouldn't trade it in for it.
Right. So you're getting the best of both worlds.
Oh man, it's just
good for you. It's
my best life, man.
Good for you.
Yeah. And I wouldn't trade it in.
So tell me about let's flip it to the other side on your personal life. You got a family, you're married.
So
where you at with that?
I have 2 children.
Okay.
From a previous marriage, and I always say this all the time. I got married when I was 32, and I was only married for 13 months. People are like, wow. What was going on? I'll say this, and this is just being transparent. I learned very quickly the difference between being married and being a husband.
Right.
And a lot of people like the idea, the novelty of being married,
right,
but don't understand the awesomeness or the responsibility.
And that's really important in today's world.
And I wasn't ready to be a husband. Now, 52, a little different.
Right.
A little different.
Anticipation can grow after a while. You know.
So from that union, I have 2 children. I have a son that's to be 30. His name is Christian. He's my guy. He's my number one dude in the world. I mean, we connect so deeply that it's just crazy. I mean, every time he hangs the phone up from me, his last words are "Love you, pops."
Oh wow!
And then I have a daughter, Clara Jewel, and I'm like you. I'm a girl dad. You know, so Clara Jewel is 20, going on 55. And man,
she said 20.
When I say to you, if you want to see my heart outside of my chest walking around in the flesh, it's Clara Jewel.
Wow.
My daughter has me so wrapped around her finger the other day.
That's a beautiful thing.
The other day, I'm riding to work and I get a text, and the text says, 2 pumps of mocha, this and that, blah, 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 blah. She's like, what is this? So I called and said, Claire, what is this? She said, oh, that's my Starbucks order. Can you get this for me and bring it back to me? I'm riding to work and I get a text, and the text says, 2 pumps of mocha, this and that, blah, 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 blah. She's like, what is this? So I called and said, Claire, what is this? She said, oh, that's my Starbucks order. Can you get this for me and bring it back to me? I was just like, are you serious? Can I get a good morning first? Yeah. Oh yeah, Dad, good morning. But you know, that's my big.
But what can you say? You know what I did. You know what I did, right? Yeah. We went to Starbucks and got that order. That's right. To it, that's right. Because that's my heart, man. Without hesitation or reservation, you know, we're the providers. You know how we're supposed to do, and we do our best.
The only reason why I called her is because I didn't know what it was. If I would have known what it was, I wouldn't even called her.
Right.
I didn't know what it was. Like, what is this? You were sending this to me? You know, but she was like, yeah. So, you know, I am big on being a father. Yeah. I love my children. And I don't understand how it's beyond me, how men can neglect the beauty of having young people in your life that you brought into this world, man. I mean, like,
it's amazing.
I don't get it for the life of me. And it's not a knock. I just don't get it.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm looking forward to grandchildren, man.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, I have 5 daughters myself. Yeah. So, you know, I look forward. I'm telling you, every morning I used to wake up and look forward to seeing them little girls running around the house. And, you know, they brought so much life into the house. It was a phenomenal way to live. I just never would have thought in a million years that I would have 5 girls. Wow. But it just happened. You know, the good Lord does have a sense of humor himself. Yeah. You know, so, but I am, really excited about tonight. Yeah. You're going to be playing at the Upscale Restaurant and Lounge, which is on 255 Wilmington Highway. So if you guys are out there, you have nothing to do tonight, come by, see Marcus Adams, the soul jazz saxophonist. He's got his band coming up from South Carolina.
Yeah, Columbia.
South Carolina. Believe me, I think you guys have seen a few of these guys down here already through us. So the show's going to be awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We're going to have a great time. Yeah. Now, let's get a little bit into your future.
Okay.
What's your plans?
Well, outside of the other million things that I do, you know, I have established a foundation. It's called the Greater Perspective. And through my work in education, me being the kind of guy I am, you know, I have impacted a lot of young people. A lot of people have grown attached to me over the years. And I started personally funding a lot of their endeavors. If it was a computer for college, if it was this, if it was that, you know, I would just take it upon myself, my responsibility to look out for these young people. Well, I started a foundation called the Greater Perspective, and what I do is this: I got some stuff here.
Okay, let's see what you got.
This is my logo, first and foremost.
Nice.
M.A. Marcus Adams, Music, Passion, and Life.
Nice.
And what I do is when I go around, I got my product. Here's one of my t-shirts right here. Now these right here are my nice graphic tees.
Wow, that's really nice.
That's nice.
What do you guys think?
That's a nice tee. one of my nice graphic tees. You know
All
what I mean?
right.
And this, along with a CD.
Okay.
This CD is my last 5 CDs I put together.
Oh,
I put them on
it's
one CD. It's called The Collection.
yes.
I use these as fundraising tools for my foundation now. $30 for the bag.
Okay.
You know, so I think that's pretty good because the t-shirt by itself is worth $30.
Yes,
You know,
that's
t-shirt.
right.
So I use these as fundraising tools. So the future, wait, this is yours too. I'm gonna take that.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. So are you going to have plenty more of these for tonight?
I got a ton of them. You know?
So you heard it. He's going to have plenty of these. So make sure you guys support the good cause.
Yes.
You know, we want to make sure that we do all we can here in Jacksonville. Yeah. You know, Jacksonville is pretty big on
humanitarian
supporting and being humanitarian. Perfect word for it.
Yeah.
We love what we do. You know, I don't know if you know a lot about Jacksonville, North Carolina.
It's my first time here.
Yeah, well, you know, we're a small town, but we are collectively pretty well all a family.
Okay.
You know, people know people. You see people everywhere. You recognize them. People will say hi to you. People are wonderful in this city.
I love that.
You know, they're very wonderful. We have a lot of things here that have pretty much put us on the map. One of the things is that we are a military city. Camp Lejeune, one of the biggest military bases in America. I'm telling you, this city is very supportive of their military service people, and I'm proud to be a veteran, by the way.
That's something about me that you don't know. I did 6 years in the reserves.
What?
Army Reserves, 92 hours.
Look at you.
Yeah, so we're both military men.
Give it here, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I did 6 years in the reserves myself. I know a lot of people.
Thank you for your service.
You weekend warriors, whatever. You know, I didn't want to get disappointed. You know, but you know, I did my time and I did what I thought was best for me. You know, and I did my 6 years in the reserves, and so I'm proud of my service and I'm proud of what I was able to do for my country and still do for my country.
Right. Well, I tell you, not very many people can really say that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's definitely something to be proud about.
I'm very proud of that. This is the greatest country. I don't care what nobody says. This is still the greatest country in the world. And I thank God that I was born here and I live here.
Well, you know, we're going through what I call the precipice of political changes.
We are.
And things of that nature. And I know that you have a preference.
I do.
And so I know that a lot of times people don't understand, but those preferences were, you know, we can all formulate our own opinion about politics and stuff. But when it comes to going to that voting booth, that's supposed to be something that's private.
It is.
You know, so
it is.
I don't knock anybody for who they choose, but I know one thing, you better think. You better think.
Yeah. You know,
before you make that choice.
And that's, you know, that's again, it's a touchy subject, as you alluded to, you know, but at the same time, you know, personally, I vote my morals and I vote thinking about the world that I want my grandkids to live in. Yeah.
I'm going to clap on that, brother. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's what I do because, you know, man, we're getting, 20, 30 years from now, you know, our kids going to be taking care of us.
That's
what I mean? So, you know, it is my responsibility to think about, you know, what's coming.
Right.
And so that's what I do. I vote now thinking about 30 years from now when my grandchildren are here, what are they going to have to deal with? They're going to have to deal with the decisions or non-decisions that you made.
Absolutely.
That's it.
But now that we've gone beyond the political spectrum, I'm going to segue us back into the music side. And have you ever thought about in the future where you want to go with your music, like whether you wanted to create get a record company or do anything of that nature, or
the music?
What are your plans?
The music for me is a platform. I've always wanted and always have been taught that autonomy is very important. Your autonomy is your power. Your ability to move as you please, your ability to make your choices is your superpower.
Right.
My granddad instilled it to me. So maintain your autonomy. You know, you got to work hard. You got to work longer. You have to work a few more hours than anyone else to establish that platform to make sure you have the substance and the means to maintain your autonomy. But the goal is that. So I am not so interested in starting a record label or anything like that. My goal is I'll put it to you like this. People ask me all the time, what's the greatest award you can get as a musician? And I say to them all the time, I'm not interested in the Grammy. You know, I know I can play. I know I can sing. I don't need people to reward me for that. I don't need that. This is me personally. This is Marcus talking. You know, I don't need anyone to say, oh man, we think you're great. Here's a reward for your music. No, I don't need that. I mean, what I'd like is to win a Peace Prize for my music. Nobel. Because my music made a difference in the world. My music caused people to stop and say, you know what? Too much hate is going on.
Right.
Let's do some good. My music is saying, you know what? You know, color is insignificant.
Right.
Let's start to look at things through the eyes of the color that matters. And that's the color of love. You know, that is what I want to do. If if there's something in the future that I would love, you know, that's what I would want. You know, to win a Peace Prize. Nobel.
We got some people chiming in here.
All right.
We got a whole lot of people.
A whole lot of people?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
They want to know what's going on.
They want to know what's going on?
Well, let's find out what's going on here. Okay. What do we got?
We got some people saying, man.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Carla and Craig. They are the ones at the Ocean City Jazz Festival. You know, for a lot of you that don't know about Ocean City Jazz Festival, it's just right down the street. Now, you guys support us all the time here in Jacksonville, but I do want you to know that, hey, if you want to see a jazz festival that's worth your time and effort, go to the one at Ocean City Jazz Fest. Right there in Topsail, 45 minutes away. I go every year. I love it. This year was awesome. I mean, you guys, you're missing it. You're missing it. So make sure that this coming year, 2025, you support the Ocean City Jazz Festival. It's in matter of fact, it's in a wonderful location in Topsail. It was at one point considered, so make sure that this coming year, 2025, you support the Ocean City Jazz Festival. It's in matter of fact, it's in a wonderful location in Topsail. It was at one point considered an African-American community, beach African-American community. And I had the opportunity to meet a young lady who was our realtor out there. Her name was Anise Ginyard. And she was able to matter of fact, she works for Caldwell. She's a realtor. And I had an opportunity to meet her. And she told me the history and everything. And I just could not believe the stuff that I was hearing. I was like, what? Our people owned all this out here? You got to pay attention because sometimes you're in areas that you have no idea the historical significance of what it's all about. And matter of fact, I think that we should give them a call for you.
Hey, let's work it out. Be very interested.
I think we should get them a call for you.
Let's do that. Be very interested in meeting them and possibly being a part of their festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of the other festivals that you're looking at right now that you're hoping to play at?
Well, this year I've done Fresh Coast Jazz Festival. I will be doing Catalina Jazz Festival.
Wow.
I did a few more.
I love Catalina.
I did a few more. I can't really recall because I'm playing so much, but I've done a few more. I'll be at Legacy.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Legacy.
in Virginia.
Yeah. I'll be at Legacy. There's just a few more things that I'm doing, and hopefully, man, next year, I'll do even more.
Oh yeah. You're in the mainstream now. Yeah. You're in the mainstream. You're solidly in the mainstream. I'm telling you, I have watched you, and like I said, I have waited to this point to actually get you down here. And once again, I want to thank you for what you have done, giving us your time to come down here to entertain us. We're a small town, but our people out here, we enjoy jazz too, and so Jazz Rendezvous has been out here for 14 years now. I remember being out here, and at that time they had basically the elevator music that we talked about. And I said, wow, I need to bring some contemporary smooth jazz. And now it's soul jazz.
There it is.
Oh man, well, the evolution of jazz is amazing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep the one thing that I am confident of is that as it evolves, the authenticity of true artistry and talent will always rise to the top. Because what's real lasts forever.
That's right, because I can remember there was some time ago, music just took a turn for the left. It was like everything was MIDI. For those of you who don't know what MIDI is, that's totally digital. That means that you no longer needed a drummer. You no longer needed a keyboard player. You no longer needed all these musicians to actually put together a song or a show. Only one-man band with computer boards everywhere, emulating sounds from every direction, and was able to put together a whole song together. But now that history says it repeats itself, we're going back to the big bands again. And that's what I love.
I'll say this, and this is how I'll sum up my experience, and my belief. If we were there tonight and all the power went out and you guys just had your phones, we still would have a hell of a concert. Because that's acoustic. That's acoustic.
That's right.
The drums is acoustic. My voice is acoustic.
Right.
We would still have a hell of a concert. You'd be like, man, wow, he still did that and there was no power. Yeah.
Wow.
That's artistry.
That is.
That's talent.
Yeah, that's pretty deep, man.
Yeah. Marcus Miller did that once. He did that on the stage with Miles Davis. Power went out. They were in Paris. Power went out, and Miles has an acoustic instrument. He's playing trumpet. The drummer kept going, and Miles is like, he said he started hearing the bass. He was like, "There's no power. How am I getting the bass?" Marcus Miller had went and got his bass clarinet and started playing the bass on his clarinet.
Wow.
That's artistry.
That is. I was listening to another gentleman not too long ago, another artist who was saying that there was a time when you really couldn't get into the who's of music unless you knew how to play.
Yeah.
Now it's like anybody can get in because anybody can do anything because you got all social media, everything,
But here's the thing, though. It may look good online. Like myself, you'll look at me and say, hey, I don't have any Billboard number ones. Yeah, I have been on Billboard, but I don't have any Billboard number ones or anything like that. I'm not doing all the major.
But you came close.
Yeah, I did. But if you ask someone, that has been to my concerts, oh yeah, people are like, who are you? Where have you been? This and that. You know why? Because on social media you may look good, but when you get to that show, the real you gonna come out.
Oh, definitely.
And if you got the real stuff, it's gonna show. And if you ain't got it, it's gonna show.
Well, we're just about ready to sew it up here. And I just want to give people out there an opportunity. If you have any questions or anything you want to throw at us, please feel free. Text us, inbox us. We're on social media right now. Just let us know what you'd like for Mr. Marcus Adams.
Anybody got any questions right now? Can we take one? Anybody got one? Anyone have one?
Does anyone have one out there? How about you? You got a question? Well, I tell you what, this is my good friend.
She says she has one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I wanted to know the different instruments that you do play.
Okay, well, of course, saxophone, but I play probably better than any of the instruments that I play: piano, drums, guitar, and a little violin.
Excellent. That's nice, man.
Yeah. But each instrument has its own personality. The sax is a bit more seductive.
Right.
The guitar is a bit more intimate. The piano, I write with that best. I write with piano best. Violin, I think it's a little bit more, for me, it's a bit more sanctimonious, for lack of words. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the different instruments bring out different parts of my personality, or, whatever, how I view things. But yeah, five of them. And probably could play more if I wanted to.
Right.
I don't have time anymore.
Well, once
One
again,
more question.
yeah, sure.
You're basically known for those big hats.
Yeah.
Do you collect them or sell them?
I actually, the big fedoras, as one of my friends says all the time. I actually had a company on Instagram reach out to me and say, "Hey man, we see you wearing our hats and this and that." And it's like, would you like to be I forget what you call those people that do products for people online? Influencer. And I was like, I don't know. And, cause I'm doing so many things. And then, they saw that I was an artist. So it's like, I tell you what, this is what we'll do. How about we give you your own line of hats? Okay. So now I got my own line of hats. Those hats you see, those are my hats. Soul Jazz hats.
Wow.
So all the hats that you see me wearing, those are mine on stage. Those are Marcus Adams brand hats, Soul Jazz hats. So my dream is to one day walk into a venue and everybody got on a Soul Jazz hat. You'll see me run out of there like, oh my God, I can't believe I died of going to heaven. That's my dream.
Well, we are in the red now. That means that we got to get ready to shut it down.
Let's go.
But before we shut it down, I just want to let everybody know, thank you so much for coming in and being with me today on my first podcast with Mr. Marcus Adams.
Thank you for having me.
And I just want to let you all know that tonight is going to be an awesome show. Doors open at 6 right there at Upscale Lounge. And you got to come on down. We're at 255 Wilmington Highway right here in Jacksonville. Don't forget, Jazz Rendezvous is always in the house. Tonight we had Marcus Adams again in the house. We have our studio audience in the house. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Keep the love going. And remember, Jazz Rendezvous is always in the place to be.